How's it feel?
So good.
How the hell did he learn so quick? Yo, what's up everyone, Jono here. So I was just muttering about how Josh, my mate, learned to ride an electric unicycle so damn quickly. I grabbed him for a chat about how he picked up my Inmotion V11 so quickly and the process, some tips and tricks, and just from the perspective of a newbie to let you guys know what it's like. And before we get to that, of course, the obligatory montage of his learning process. So, how long have you been riding now for?
Oh, I don't know actually. I'm not sure when we first started. Maybe it was after my surgery, so would have been like July maybe, and it's now October.
Yeah,
Yes.
but in that time you've only had a couple of sessions going about 40 kilometers total.
Yeah.
And so I took you into a car park and let the suspension out.
Yeah.
And you picked it up really quick in about 10 or 15 minutes just going around the car park.
Yeah.
What do you reckon was the tricks to picking up so quick?
I don't know. There was a few. Having a good teacher, obviously, somebody that's pretty experienced, so that always helps. And then yeah, all the little pointers that you had and the little drills that we did before we even got going, just like feeling the pressure of the unicycle against my knees and stuff, so just giving me heaps of pointers, I guess.
Yeah, and so those pointers I picked up from e-riders on my learn to ride days, so I just taught Josh that. And here comes a motorbike, so we'll just avoid them. So we just did a balance, like standing up and off, feeling the weight of the wheel against your knee, and then just mounting, dismounting. Oh, and of course some walking around with my shoulder at the balancing point.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like a couple of like just step up and just feel it glide and stop. So it's just some really good control stuff. Yeah, all super useful things, core skills, I guess.
Yeah.
Super helpful. And then yeah, obviously walked around the car park holding onto your shoulder, but felt pretty comfortable pretty quickly. Like Jono said, about 15 minutes I felt comfortable enough to let go, and said to Jono, I was like, I feel all right, you can stay there. And
Yeah, I got ditched pretty quick.
it was all right to go just like in a straight line with just some slight cornering. But yeah, obviously Jono also restricted the top speed on the wheel. I think it was something like 15 maybe, or
Yeah, we started
it was
off
under
really
20.
slow. Maybe even like 18.
Yeah,
But-
so I was hitting the knockbacks pretty quickly, but it was good to keep me safe. And yeah.
So a lot of people wonder about the Inmotion V11 as a starter wheel.
Yeah.
So how do you feel? Was it like too big or intimidating, heavy to start off with?
I think it was probably like just right. I'd done a lot of research, so.
How your legs are feeling?
My knees feel like they're blown out.
Blown out knees and
Yeah. Oh.
what about calves or?
Calves are alright. Yeah, just my knees feel like weird. It felt like probably a good starting point. It was nice having the suspension, obviously. Yeah, it didn't feel too heavy or too powerful. I'm sure if I started on like a really small little wheel, a light wheel, maybe that would have been a bit easier in hindsight. I don't know. But it was definitely a good wheel because I picked it up so fast. I was able to quickly pump up the suspension and definitely hit some trails and probably grew into it really quickly. I would have grown out of like a non-suspension wheel or a smaller wheel real fast.
Yeah, so after about 45 minutes in car park, we were nearly going to pack up, and then I said, no, let's just head out for a bit. And we ended up riding for about 50 Ks and over a couple hours. And Josh, yeah, we got the suspension pumped up from flat for him. And the other thing, I was just cruising along. This was only like an hour, and I looked back, and he's bloody seated riding. First afternoon.
Straight away. Yeah.
Absolutely savage.
It was pretty cool.
And what are your tips for getting into seated riding for newbies?
Oh, I don't know. I tried it because you were on the scooter. So I was behind you. I tried it a couple of times and just couldn't feel it. Just didn't feel right sitting down or trying to sit down.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, it just all of a sudden clicked. It was further into the ride, so I guess I was a bit more comfortable with the wheel. And I was able to, hold onto the seat and just lower my body weight onto it. Obviously, Jono didn't say, I have ridden just this regular unicycle a long time ago, so I do have some skills there. And as soon as you sit down, it does feel a little bit more like a regular pedal unicycle, unpowered one. So I guess you're sitting in a saddle most of the time with one of those. So
that's an interesting comparison. That
it felt more similar than once I sat down to a normal unicycle.
Yeah.
But it definitely unlocked another riding style and skill, I guess, sitting down.
Yeah. And interestingly, with the street tire, I've got the Mission Pilot Street 2 on there. Yeah. It's a bit more stable off-road seated riding, so it just gives you an extra point of contact. So we just got to go around first from here. I'll go first. So you probably picked up that Josh started on a manual unicycle just like me, and that does help a lot. But my other buddy, Benny, picked it up really quickly as well, using the same techniques discussed. So what I'm saying is that anyone with the right technique and a bit of preparation, with safety gear and some drills in mind, can tackle riding EUC without a problem. So if you appreciate the work I'm doing in the channel and buying an EUC from e-riders, then use my coupon code to help out the channel. Thanks guys, and back to the video. Yeah, so Josh saw me ripping around the corner, hard leaning, and he went to follow me. And what happened, Josh?
Oh yeah, I think that was our second ride. We're out, and Jono was definitely going pretty fast. But obviously he's been riding for a lot longer and way more skilled than me. And I was probably pushing it a bit too much, past my skill level, trying to keep up a little bit. And I couldn't hold the corner tight enough. So the corner just, I guess in motorcycle and cars, you oversteer. So I ran out of the corner, hit the gutter. Lucky it was a nice kind of bermed gutter, but I kind of just aborted the wheel.
Yeah.
Just jumped off it. It went rolling and came down. Lucky I literally bought some hand guards, I think that morning.
Yeah.
So
before I even let Josh get on there, we went to the skate shop, picked up some wrist guards, and instantly paid for themselves. And the other thing was, when I was teaching Josh, I just loaned him all my gear, so I had him get up with these knee pads and everything, because you're really likely to come off the first day or two.
Yeah, I already had a good motorcycle jacket because I ride motorcycles, so I've been using that the whole time. It's got pads and stuff, so, and this is a proper helmet, like a motorcycle approved helmet, so I've always worn that. Definitely don't take any chances with this kind of stuff. Looking after your skin's pretty important.
Yeah. So where do you think you'd like to go with EUCs? Better hobby, better transportation, or just recreation in the future?
For myself, it would be mainly recreation and a hobby, I guess. It wouldn't be my main mode of transport. Just where I live, I can't get to my work very easily. I definitely use it to nip into town and get fruit, veg and milk and stuff. Odd little shopping trip, but
Yeah,
it'll
you
be mainly
you
recreation.
you mentioned you found it really easy just to pop into the shopping centre and get some groceries and...
Yeah, instead of firing up the old fuel guzzler.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice to just jump on the wheel and quickly nip down there.
Yeah, particularly with petrol prices hitting like over 220 sometimes in Australia.
Ridiculous. And yeah, Jono was kind enough to let me actually lend the wheel. Yeah, as I was saying, Jono was kind enough to let me lend his Inmotion V11 because he's obviously got the Sherman. So he let me borrow it for, I think it's been maybe a month now or something. So I've had it at home and had just some solo riding on it, a couple of little trips, which has been fun. And then I've got a 4-year-old son who's just learning to ride a regular bike. He's still got training wheels, but he loves to just go and go and go.
Yeah.
And I found that it's just been great to like sit behind him and just follow him. He can just go for as long as he wants. And before I was like, after maybe 15 minutes or something, I was like, all right, time to go home, I'm over this. But now I'm like, let's keep going. And he's excited as well. So that was something I didn't think would happen. And yeah, it was pretty cool. So
Yeah. And how do you feel about the overall safety, as in just having one wheel versus, say, a bike or a e-scooter?
yeah, I had some concerns. Obviously, I do ride motorcycles, so I'm used to having 2 wheels, usually a drive wheel at the back and a steering at the front, and I understand cornering and laying into it. So I was like, everything I do on a motorbike, the cornering, the acceleration, the braking, is spread across 2 wheels. Now it's going to be all contained on 1 wheel, one little patch of rubber on the ground. So
Yeah.
I definitely was like, it's always been in my mind that there's so many different forces going on that one patch. Like, how's it going to hold up? And it's literally blown me away how much control there is. It's just like being able to brake really safely and quickly, being able to accelerate out of maybe a sticky situation.
And how do you find that learning curve of being able to brake and corner and accelerate in a controlled manner and feeling comfortable?
Yeah, so the first, obviously the first 2 rides was really just slowly getting comfortable with everything. And I got to a point where I was like, felt too comfortable and I needed to definitely hone some skills. And I identified that to Jono as well. And he was like, not a problem. So we went to another car park and he gave me some really good drills, some high speed kind of braking skills, how to pull the unicycle up really quickly and safely, seated and standing. That was key.
I was drilling in some good techniques straight away so that Josh could ride at speed safely. I progressively took Josh through some safety drills. This was to allow him to ride at a higher speed to keep up with me safely. These are some techniques I've developed over time. If you'd like a separate video about this, then leave a comment down below. I don't know, is there anything else you want to add? I might wrap it up soon.
Yeah, I don't know. Overall, it's been a really good experience.
Any hassles from drivers or bike cyclists? Like anyone giving you trouble? Dogs?
Nah. I think we had one little thing. We went for a ride in Noosa and we came across a lady that I think she just had a dog that she couldn't quite control and she was a bit stressed about us coming too close. But otherwise, most people are pretty excited and want to talk about it and like, what are those? And you see people like rubbernecking out of cars, like double taking, checking you out. So yeah, no hassles really. It's been a overall good experience. I had one good tumble, which probably was good for me.
Yeah.
Definitely kept me in check and don't be silly about it. Like can be dangerous. So yeah, it's been really good and I'm going to have to give this one back soon to Jono. He's going to need it back. So definitely checking marketplace and stuff. Looking to seeing if I can find one that possibly I could purchase. So it's definitely be on my radar to get one day.
Yeah, and with all the new wheels coming out, there's a lot of good deals coming up on the second-hand market. And the V11, I would say if you can get a good deal as your first wheel, definitely pick it up. But if you're wanting something a bit more trail orientated or a bit more power for a longer term wheel, then pick up one of the newer 16-inch wheels, I'd say. Yeah. But I just love being able to, chill on the footpath like this or rip you know, a bit more on the road.
Yeah.
And I swear I had something else to say, but
Yeah, the freedom's pretty good. Just being able to do whatever we want. Like Jono's got the whole place mapped out basically. So we've gone all sorts of riding. We've done some really nice coastal stuff along the beach, and then some some bush stuff, some gravel, and pavers. Done everything. So it's pretty nice to mix it all up.
yeah, nice one.
Yeah.
Alrighty, might wrap it up there. Good shit, let's get back to the ride.
Yeah, off to some climbing.
Yep, bouldering. All right, thanks.